Welcome to Who Put This On, episode 14, in which we discuss Naked and Afraid, season 2, episode 5, and the Rogan Franco experience, or Franco and Rogan.
Franken experience.
Franco,
Yeah,
yes,
naturally.
Franken. Yeah, so I'm Chris Lorenz, and sitting to my left is
James Hall.
sitting to my right,
Harrison Hoffman.
sitting to his right,
Robert Kitts.
and I guess this episode was pretty good. I actually enjoyed this episode. It was good.
Oh, man, that was a twist I did not see coming. You were really
Found a
downplaying
show
it.
that Chris likes.
He was really downplaying it while we were watching it. It wasn't really, keeping a little quiet.
There was not a lot of ridiculous stuff happening in this show.
Well, there was a lot
enjoyed
of
it.
ridiculous stuff happening, but there wasn't a lot of bad ridiculous happening.
Wasn't a lot of sort of contrived ridiculous stuff. It was just like leeches and all sorts of places ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, I felt like some of it was the marketing was not great, where there was like, oh my god, he ate that mushroom, and then like there was a lot of crosscuts that I didn't really like.
I mean, that one thing in particular was a little bit misleading. They kind of opened the show with like, this dude ate a random mushroom, and now like the show doctors have to check him out. But other than that, I think it was pretty legit.
But like it did kind of happen that way. It
It
wasn't
did.
as like he ate a mushroom and 10 seconds later he's convulsing on the ground,
Well,
which
that's
made
true.
it seem.
There was
but-
also like a lot of like, there's a Komodo dragon. Where is he? Is he coming up? Oh, he's coming up. Oh, wait. There's the boat.
there was that.
Yeah.
What happened to the tiger? I feel like we were promised a tiger and then it just didn't happen.
we were promised a tiger and it didn't happen, but the 100-step snake totally happened, which I didn't think was going to pay off at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So there was this snake. So this episode takes place in Malaysia, and we'll talk about the plot of the show. But essentially, there's this snake that's indigenous to Malaysia that the locals call the 100-step snake, because once it bites you, you take 100 steps and then you die.
Yep.
So,
real intense. And
super
the thing glows
intense.
like in the dark, has like a blue streak going, like an orange head.
It was
all
a
sorts
super
crazy.
cool looking snake, though.
I don't ever want to see that snake.
I don't want to see it, but it looked really cool.
I guess. Don't want any part of that snake.
No one does. All right. So the description that's on Discovery's website for this show is Naked and Afraid takes survival of the fittest to the next level. Each week, a new pair of complete and total strangers, one man and one woman, will find themselves stranded and quite literally exposed to some of the world's most extreme weather environments. Each duo will be left high and dry with no food, no water, and no clothes. They must survive on their own for a full 21 days with nothing but one personal item each, and the knowledge that the only prize is their pride and sense of accomplishment. There's more, but I think
Yeah.
I've got it.
I think that covers it.
The concept of this show is super crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how they get anyone to sign up for this.
Right. Like, there's no payoff
Nope.
other than, like, you accomplish something. That's sort of crazy.
Well, the payoff is that everyone knows you're a fucking badass.
I
Because that stuff is
guess.
crazy, man.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely, like, the, like, extremist of, like, the survivalist sort of scenarios, right?
It's definitely the most intense show we've watched. It's like
Oh, for sure.
shit is going down all the time in this show.
Right. Or you're just hungry and cold and,
Well-
like, trying to, like, not die.
I felt like there was a good week where they were just in their little hut.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot happening while they were making the hut, and there was very little happening after the hut was made.
So they make the hut and then the show makes it look like for a week they just hide from the rain. Were they really like not leaving it at all, or were they just like nothing much is happening, there's nothing worth showing?
I mean, maybe they were leaving it a little bit, but I think that they were just kind of in the hut, maybe trying to make a fire a little bit. And I think that what happened is they couldn't really get a fire started because they were in the rainforest. So they didn't really have a good way to cook any food they might catch. So they were just trying to lay low and sort of conserve energy is what it seemed like.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was one of the craziest parts about this show is, this thing was like they're surviving for 21 days in this rainforest, and we didn't really see them eat, like, aside from maybe a couple of bugs. I mean,
the mushroom.
and a potentially poisonous mushroom. But, they caught this snake, and then they couldn't get a fire made in time to eat it. And then they caught a fish, but it had just kind of spawned, so, like, the meat was bad. And, yeah, like, they didn't eat anything for the entire time. It was crazy.
Some bugs. Luckily, it was raining, so they had fresh water for the first part of it.
Yeah, I mean...
and that sort of let up at the end, too.
it seemed like they had enough water, but, yeah, the food situation was really bad.
Yep.
Yeah, they lost like 50 pounds combined.
Yeah, I think they said the guy lost 30 and the woman lost 20.
I was actually kind of surprised it wasn't more than that. I mean, that was.
I mean that's 3 weeks of not eating. You can't like if you lose more than that, you're like getting.
And these people were like
Pretty
in
deep in
reasonable
there.
shape too, like going into this. They both were like somewhat athletic. The dude was a firefighter, looked pretty in shape. And the girl like wasn't really fat or anything. She was pretty good in shape, and like she definitely looked real skinny at the end of it. Like face structure did not look so good.
I mean, they definitely looked pretty bad. I mean, at that point, your body's just kind of eating itself.
Right.
They
Definitely lost like all muscle tone, just super skinny, real thin face. Not looking super healthy.
No protein for 3 weeks. Probably do that.
For sure. It was not so clear if they were finding like any berries or like any other things. They didn't really show that piece, so maybe they were finding some stuff. Wasn't very
well,
clear.
they kept mentioning that they didn't have any fat or protein.
Right.
So I felt like they were eating like the leaves or whatever was around them. So
But if they were
I don't
finding-
really show any of it though.
But if they were finding anything significant, like they would have shown it. I think.
I would have thought so, but I'm just surprised. I don't know like how long you can really survive without any food.
Well, I think you can probably survive for
You can actually survive a really long time without
like
food.
about a month or
Without any
something.
food?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not water. Like
Not
you
water.
have to
Well, like
have.
water's like 1 or 2 days. Like it's not very long, but like food is like you can probably survive like a month or something.
Well, it depends how much fat you have too.
Sure. Also
Right.
that. Yeah.
Reserves, yeah.
It depends on a lot of. It also depends like what you're doing. It's like they're out like trying to build like shelters and stuff. So I don't know if that affects. And doing push-ups at one point.
to like make sure they didn't get hypothermia. So it's not like they were just doing push-ups for the hell of it.
No, for sure.
I mean, it seemed like in like about the first third of the thing, like the first week, they were pretty active. Like they're trying to make a shelter and they're doing all this stuff. But then after that, they're just laying low because they don't have any food.
Yeah, you just run out of energy at some point, right? You can't really.
I don't
do
think it
anything.
was that long though. They built the shelter in like 3 days.
Really?
And
Because
then they didn't really do much after that.
Really, because I remember watching and just saying like, "Hey, it's been like 5-6 days and they don't really have a shelter yet."
I don't
And it
think
seems
so.
kinda
No,
crazy,
no,
right?
by
Yeah.
the end, by night 2, they had the shelter mostly made at least.
Yeah, I guess.
And I think then like days like 3 through 9, they didn't show like us anything. They're just like, yep, they're just hanging out in the shelter from all the rain.
Yeah.
The only
Well-
good news about them hanging out then, well, there were no bugs at that point because it was raining so much. Once it stopped raining, it really turned to a shit show real quick. and Lady got all kinds of bug bites. That was a real problem.
This whole situation seems like a nightmare.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
There is no world where I would ever go on this show. It seems terrible. Like,
Yeah.
the whole first part where they're walking around a ton and everything is wet and like their feet are getting beat up and there's fucking leeches everywhere and like that whole situation seems terrible.
The leech thing was sounded pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, like
Leeches freak me out, man. I,
mean,
don't
like,
want
at one
any part of
point-
no leeches.
at one point the woman's like, "Yeah, I have a leech in my vaginal area." I'm like, "Oh God!" Like that
Yeah,
sounds.
dude had a leech on his scrotum.
Yep. Also
Also,
bad.
also not good.
Both really bad.
Well,
Oh,
well,
man.
at least they said they did.
I mean, they couldn't
I'm just
show it
gonna-
on
I'm just-
camera.
I'm just gonna
Well,
be an ace.
it was blurred out.
They showed the
Fair.
leeches on her legs that they brushed out, and then like there's flies like just buzzing
Instantly.
onto the blood on her legs. It looked real
God.
terrible. So like when they're like, "Yeah, I have a leech on my scrotum," I'm like, I bet
There's-
he really does.
There's really no reason for them to lie about that.
Right.
I mean,
What do you mean? Now we're all discussing it. It was a big moment,
I-
and there's no real. They really can't.
I'm
like,
fine
confirm
with them
that.
not showing that.
No, well, they can't. They're not going to. But if like the camera guy's like, "Hey, you spill this line for me real quick."
I mean, I would be really surprised. This whole show doesn't seem very produced. It's just kind of like
They just kind of let it happen.
We're just going to shoot this thing, and it's going
I
to
would
happen.
like to see more time lapses. Like
Mhm.
they really like
They
have
did a couple,
40
but
minutes.
kind of quick.
They could like show a lot of what happens if you time lapse it, but they really didn't.
It would
There's
make
just
it seem like a
complete days where
time-lapse, yeah.
nothing happened.
Like
they
time
didn't
lapse
show
of the
anything.
shelter would have been really sweet.
Yeah,
Well, I
like-
just think that that's the reality. They were just kind of chilling out so they wouldn't starve to death.
Yeah, I know. I understand they're just chilling out. Well, they could like show them chilling out for like a whole day in like 30 seconds. It's like doesn't take long
Yeah.
while they go over some other random topic they're going over.
Yeah, I guess maybe they just they don't. It didn't seem like they had a ton of cameras. Like the crew was pretty small. It seemed like about maybe a crew of 3.
Yeah, I think they
There was
said
like
3.
2 camera guys and like maybe 1 sound guy.
Oh, well, there was a medic too.
Yeah, the medic. I don't think the medic was always there though. I think she was just nearby.
They're probably at like they
Right,
probably
like, they have,
some
like, a
kind of
walkie-talkie
like
or
production base camp or something. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like they were able to get there quickly, but I think like the people that were there with the like couple doing the stuff was probably just like a crew of 3.
But do you think there's a rotation? There's like a day shift and night shift. So like there's
be.
3 at any time, but there's like people are swapping in.
Yeah,
and
you're
out.
probably
Well,
not holding that
there's
camera for like 21 days straight, right?
I mean, there's definitely some kind of a rotation. I mean, I'm not sure if these are like union cameramen, but there are like rules around
Well-
like how long people in a union can shoot for, kind of thing. And
But no, it's either there's a rotation, people swapping in and out, or it's just that's why they give the 2 contestants handheld cameras, because like we're only filming you part of the time. If something cool happens, you can just kind of like take yourself.
Well,
we're not,
like at
we're
night when they're
sleeping.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think all the shots at night were kind of them on their personal cameras.
Right.
So
Or like maybe a camera that was like just set up and like pointed at him or something. It didn't seem like it was moving around a lot.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but overall, like, so seems pretty easy to like make, but like super risky in terms of like you have to like take medical attention on these people like immediately.
Yeah, I mean, like the insurance is probably pretty high, and you have to have doctors. But overall, it seems really cheap. It's kind of you have 2 volunteers and you have 3 cameramen. It's
Yeah.
pretty cheap, and there's no sets. You just dump them in wherever, right?
So how does that like? Do they have to like pay to like go into Malaysia and like be like, hey, we're gonna like
I would-
show up here? Like,
I
do
would guess
shit?
it probably depends on where they're going. Some places maybe they have to pay.
you
Like,
got to pay the
government
local
to shoot.
warlords.
Yeah, like, I
around
don't
so
know,
they don't
right?
kill them.
Like-
I don't know about that, but
I don't know about that.
like
Seems a
in
little
some
risque.
places you have to pay the local government to be able to shoot there. But I think it just depends. It's probably not very expensive either.
right?
I'm sure you do. I'm sure there's some sort of permit. They're not like Discovery's not stealth going into Malaysia. Like
Right.
they could probably go to Malaysia and no one would find them, but like Discovery's not doing that.
Yeah.
It's a commando run into
Like-
Malaysia.
Hey guys, if anyone comes in, just run the other way.
Hide the cameras. We're not shooting anything.
they do the final swim to the boat, but the boat's not there because they're running from Malaysian government. There's just no
Oh, man.
boat.
So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm watching this and I'm like, I have no interest to go to Malaysia now, like at all.
I mean, this is not what all of Malaysia's like.
No, but that's what now that's what my impression of Malaysia is like.
I guess.
Just tigers and lizards running around everywhere. And
Well,
fucking snakes.
I go to Malaysia. I think I'll be sticking to the resorts more than the middle of
Where's
nowhere.
the Four Seasons, Malaysia?
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the middle of the rainforest.
No.
Do you think they have a tour,
Yeah.
like a Naked and Afraid tour? This is where they were.
In all
This is their
honesty, I have
shelter.
zero interest to go to any rainforest now after watching that episode.
There's
Looks
one.
terrible.
There's one only a couple hours from here.
Good God, it looks
Yeah,
terrible.
it's the only rainforest in the northern hemisphere, something like that, right? Something
At
crazy
least
like
in
that?
the North America. I don't know.
Yeah.
Northern Hemisphere.
I don't know.
What's in Washington or?
Yeah, it's like pretty close to here.
Huh.
Kind of crazy.
A couple hours from here.
Are there tigers and shit? I don't want any
I
part
don't
of that.
think that there are tigers there.
There's no tigers.
Here's an idea. You and Chris do Naked and Afraid in the rainforest. And then we report about it.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You
Are
guys
you the
heard it.
camera crew?
Harrison has just agreed to do Naked and Afraid in the rainforest.
Are people
I mean,
gonna
I've got a
listen-
couple weeks. I've got a couple
Yeah.
weeks off work coming up here. Maybe
I
we
feel like
can
that
do
shit's
it.
going to be real cold.
Can we get
Yeah.
some sort of utopia situation where they can watch us live?
Oh, so you want like a live stream?
I mean,
Would
are we
there-
going to have like a 21-day podcast? Like, how is that going to work?
Does that mean
We'll
no
time-lapse
blurring
it.
if it's live?
No, we have to have blurring.
So does that mean that we're bringing my laptop out there and just recording a podcast for 3 weeks?
No.
Great. All right.
How about we do Naked and Afraid with underwear, and then like,
Then you're not
It's
naked.
not really naked and afraid then.
Yeah, you got to go. If you're going to that extent, you got to go all out.
yeah, well then who's paying to get the live blurring?
Mm.
Would you rather have underwear or would you rather have shoes?
Shoes.
Definitely
Obviously shoes,
100% shoes.
Yeah, that was something that we sort of talked a little bit while watching it. Like, you hear, you're out in the rainforest being naked, and so your immediate thought is like, your dick's gonna get bit off or something. But like
Yeah.
the barefoot situation was actually maybe worse than
It's way worse.
everything else.
Mhm.
There was so this is actually not the first episode of this show I've watched, but there was one where they were in like this swamp or something that seemed way worse than this. Like basically for the first week of it, they were just in water. Like they were not out of the water for like a week, and like their feet were all fucked up because like they just were in water walking around in a swamp for a week. And then like at some point they finally found like some like this tiny like 3-foot wide patch of land that they could like be on, but like it seemed really, really bad.
I feel like I've seen that episode maybe with you or something.
Yeah.
Is that the one that was like in Louisiana, like the bayou somewhere? or
Yeah,
something?
it was somewhere in the south, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked terrible though. man. And there's like crocodile or like alligators and stuff around there, and it seems terrible.
So if you had to choose, would you want like a wet environment or a dry environment for this sort of challenge? Because I think both have like really big problems, right?
Well, there has to be a water source, or else you'll just die.
Right.
So like, I mean,
Like desert's a problem.
yeah, I mean, if there's no water, you're fucked, right?
Yeah.
I feel like dry environment, but with a really good water source, is probably the best case scenario.
Yep.
Probably, but there's also probably not much food in that kind of environment either.
It's a good point. It's not like they got a lot of food in this wet environment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was because they couldn't make a fire to eat it, and they didn't really want to eat too many bugs for some reason.
Yeah.
Not a lot of bugs out there they could have eaten.
But if it is like a dry, like sort of wooded sort of environment, like there's definitely going to be dry bark and stuff. So, like you can definitely make a fire. Then the question is, what are you going to be able to find in water, right?
I mean, water has to be the main concern pretty much
Sure.
every time, right?
Yeah, I guess that's like any survival thing. It's always water and shelter.
I mean, definitely over food, water. I mean, because you can't survive for like at all without water.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which way I'd go on that.
All
I don't really want to do that
To
challenge.
swing this in a different direction, my first comment was, if you're an ass man, this is a great show. Because all you're doing is watching these people walk. There was at least like 50 shots of this guy's ass, like throughout just one episode. Can't imagine what the rest of the episodes are like.
They blur in front, but they do not blur in behind.
Yeah, I guess that's because it's cable TV. I don't really know, right? I mean,
You can show butts.
because they're probably not getting away with that on Fox, right? I mean, because it's Discovery Channel, you probably don't have to blur the butt.
Maybe it's what time of day they're showing it to.
Could be, yeah. I mean, cable networks can kind of decide whatever they want. I think.
Yeah, they're not really. They're self-regulated.
Yeah.
Like they're not really like the FCC has regulations like somewhat, but most of it's like self-imposed.
I mean, the
Right.
network, the like over-the-air networks are for sure heavily regulated, and they can't do that stuff. But cable, I think, not so much.
That's true.
Yeah.
And even over the air, I think after a certain time, there's a lot less regulations, but they're still
Sure,
heavily regulating themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Comedy Central at like 3 a.m. is showing way different shit than 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean they do some uncensored stuff in Comedy
Yep,
Central.
totally.
So, Chris, are you an ass fan? Was that partly why you liked the show?
Yeah, I mean I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Chris had a
I mean, it
real
was
thing for
great.
that guy's
It was all right.
butt.
Butts on butts.
Yeah, they censored the James Franco.
They did
So-
censor both butts.
Yeah.
James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, that must have been a special request. So we should clarify that there was this special episode they did, I guess, to promote The Interview, which is this movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco that's coming out, where they were quote unquote on an episode of Naked and Afraid, but there was a lot more blurring in that episode.
So that episode I found quite funny. Just like reactions to things, but it was definitely not realistic or
Well,
really happened.
It was definitely
Obviously.
it was definitely written.
Well, that
Right.
show's only 13 minutes. The normal
Right.
show is like 45 minutes.
I feel like they were out in the woods for like a total of like 3 hours.
Yeah,
But-
I like that they pretended they were there for 21 days, even though they were clearly there one afternoon.
Right.
And they just like at different points just kind of rub more mud on themselves.
Yeah.
There's definitely a point where like Franco like had mud on him. It was like day 10, and then like day 20 he had the same mud patterns on him. that was
Yeah.
funny.
Yep.
I'm surprised they didn't go more crazy though. They weren't like insane at the end, which I figured they would be.
Yeah.
There's more tired.
It was pretty fun to watch it after kind of seeing the regular show, because you kind of see a lot of that stuff that comes up in the regular show just presented in a really ridiculous way. And this wasn't in this particular episode. It kind of was with the mushrooms, but usually in this show somebody kind of does something like super counterintuitive to survival instincts, like drink some stagnant water source or something
Right.
that will obviously make you sick.
Sort
and
of
then
the
they're
obvious
done.
like no go,
And then-
sort of decision that you would make. Like, hey, I probably shouldn't eat that mushroom, but I'm gonna
Right.
go ahead and eat it.
Right, and the Rogan and Franco thing kind of made fun of a bunch of that stuff. Just pretty good.
Yeah, they drink poop water.
Yeah, poop water.
There's like
yeah.
the poop is just flowing through the water stream. Why would you drink it? And then Seth Rogen just tells the cameraman, "It's like I knew that was poop water, but I wanted him to also be in the same boat as me."
Yeah, I think like At first, I thought we were going to watch the Franco Rogan one first, and I think it was a really good move to watch a real episode first, because I think you won't appreciate the Franco Rogan one as much if you haven't seen like a real episode.
Yeah, there was like some ratings that they were giving like out of 10, and they got ratings of like 1.
Yeah, so on the
Little
real
one.
show, both Francisco and Samantha both got around a 7 out of 10, but both Rogan and Franco got about a 1 out of 10.
Before they were reassessed at the end of the show.
And you also get like 1 survival item, and Franco got sunglasses, and Rogan got toilet paper, which was hilarious.
Yep.
The rating thing, like we didn't talk about before, but essentially they kind of assess your survival skills and kind of give you a rating before, and then they kind of see what you do on the show, and they give you one after.
Yep,
So that's
your
kinda what that
PSR.
was. Yeah, is PSR?
Yeah, PSR. I
What
don't
is
know
it?
what it stands for.
I think it's primitive survival rating.
Yeah, it sounds
That's it.
reasonable.
Yeah. But yeah, like I love that for James Franco, one of the marks against him was that like he's super overconfident because of because of all of his roles in movies. He's like he comes into this super overconfident.
Yep.
And he brings sunglasses with him.
Yeah. Which he attempts to start a fire with.
Yeah, I just really loved all the still shots that they would just, show of them posing with ridiculous poses.
Yep,
Like,
yep.
we got this,
I've been a soldier. I fought Spider-Man. I can handle the jungle, no problem.
I've cut my arm off.
It's really good.
Yeah.
There was some spooning action.
No.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I felt like it was a nice change of pace from the actual show, which was really intense for a lot of it. And you're like on pins and needles, and you're like, oh man, I don't know if they're going to make it out of this. And it was nice to sort of unwind with like a nice 15-minute sort of, comical look at the same sort of situation.
Yeah.
So I recommend it. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I mean, like this whole show is just super intense, and like for a second it looked like we were gonna lose the guy, and he was gonna get kind of kicked off the show because he was too sick. And I've definitely seen episodes before where someone gets too sick and they're just out, and there's just one person trying to survive by themselves, and it's really bad.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah,
terrible.
that sounds
yeah.
rough.
Naked Afraid is bad. I couldn't imagine being naked, afraid, and alone.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
gosh.
god.
That's the next one.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the mindset you'd be in to agree to be on this show.
Well, I think it's like
they have to
yeah.
get paid. Like there's
It doesn't
I don't know, man.
I think it's just like you're like an extreme survivalist, and it's like, all right, like the one dude was training for this like 12 years, right? Like all sorts of extreme survival.
Maybe you get paid some like nominal amount like for your time, but it's not like prize money, right?
no. But like a person that get paid like 3 weeks worth of pay, probably at a good rate, is probably more like some of these people probably really need it, and that probably comes pushing. I feel like that would help people.
I mean, I can't imagine that these people would make more doing this than they would at whatever job they have back home. Like, it might be enough to kind of compensate for the lost work time, but I don't know.
They could be unemployed. I mean, like
I guess that's true.
They could be working part time. Like, there's definitely, I guarantee you, some of these people are getting paid more doing this than they would doing anything else, or doing what their normal day jobs are.
Could be.
But you're right. It's probably not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have a question. Which 2 people from any of the shows we've watched would you want to see on Naked and Afraid?
Utopia State of Freedom, obviously.
That would be funny.
I mean, I feel like those guys would have a shot at it. Like, I feel like they might actually get it done.
I know it'd be great. They'd be so confident, and then just shit would they'd argue and it'd just be over.
Oh man.
How about Gordon Ramsay?
Oh, that'd be
It's an
interesting.
twist.
I don't know who you'd pair him up with.
I mean, obviously Matsu Flex.
Una? Oh, Gordon Ramsay and Matsu Flex. Yeah,
I really want to see what that guy would do on the show.
Matsu Flex?
Yeah.
He's quitting. Like,
You think he just
day
quits
one.
day
He
one?
just
Yeah, I don't think he would make it that long.
You think he just gets out of the boat and starts dancing around? It's like, fuck this.
Starts doing push-ups,
Yeah.
naked push-ups.
Chicken Tractor Girl.
Mm.
That'd be good. I'd like to. That would just be her complaining the whole time.
We gotta build a chicken
What about
Chicken Tractor.
what about our millionaire matchmaker guys?
So the guys or the actual like host or what was
I
that
think
lady's
the
name?
host,
Patty.
would probably be pretty good. Patty and Gordon Ramsay.
Patty and Gordon Ramsay.
Oh shit, that'd be
What
crazy.
about John Taffer?
Oh man, bringing the TAF, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a raccoon in this jungle.
Yep. Oh man, TAF would be great in this thing.
I'm
I like
trying
that
to
idea.
think. So what other? Who did we have from like Desperate Housewives or what was that? Did we watch that one?
We did
Real
not watch
Housewives.
Desperate
We
Housewives.
didn't. What was that?
Desperate
other show?
Housewives isn't a reality show. It's a drama.
It's an actual
We watched
show.
Real Housewives
Oh,
of
Real
New
Housewives.
Jersey.
I'm trying to think of any of those people. I'm sure like
What
any
about-
of
I mean,
those
like,
would be
I mean,
ridiculous.
that one. I mean, people from that show I don't think would be good because I think they just give up immediately and it wouldn't be
Right.
really interesting.
So you actually want somebody that would like give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, I want somebody who would give it a go and be entertaining, or else there's not really a show.
What about the kids from the last show? We
Master
did?
Chef. So I was saying pair up Gordon Ramsay with Una from that show. The
No,
little
like
girl.
but you just get 2 kids.
Little girl.
and
I don't-
just throw them into the jungle.
Do we get into a bad spot if we're putting kids in a naked show?
Probably.
Like,
Well, like,
what if it
here's a
was?
special
What if it
thing,
was
like,
just?
let them wear some clothes?
What if it was just Afraid?
Right.
It's like you're just
alone
in
and
the
afraid in the
jungle,
jungle.
but the kids, but like you give them like ponchos or something.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like if you did Naked and Afraid with Kids,
Like-
you'd be getting a visit from Chris Hansen.
Like some clear ponchos.
No, not clear ponchos.
Who
Danger,
was the,
danger.
Who was the host of Dating Naked? The
Amy. Amazon Amy.
Amy-
But
Amy-
I feel like she would give it a go.
Amy Paffrath.
Yeah.
I don't think we really know anything about that person.
Do
I
we
don't
need
know.
do we need a show dating naked and afraid?
That
No.
would be.
Put two
You
single.
know, it's Dating Naked and Afraid 90 Day Fiance. So they have like, but inside it's 21 Day Fiance. So they have 21 days naked in a jungle to decide if they want to get married.
No. Married at first sight. So, they're
So
just
they
married
are
on the
married.
spot. Yeah.
And then
That's their first test.
Are they naked when they're married?
Yeah.
Or do they wear clothes,
No.
get married, then immediately lose their clothes?
They have
And
to
then
be
they're like,
naked, afraid,
oh.
and married. So it's naked first, then afraid, then
I'd
married.
rather see Utopia put in Malaysia jungle and they're all naked and let that see
So,
how
like,
that works out.
Nudist colony, naked and afraid.
Yeah,
I think that would go very poorly.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty funny. It'd be good.
Yeah.
I would make Utopia a much better show.
What if? See, here's what Bully Beatdown should have been. They take the bully and they just throw him to the jungle.
They're like blindfold him and
So
sit
Right.
the
him in-
tigers?
Right. To like teach him a lesson.
Yes.
blindfold him, shove him out of a plane.
Right.
So we get the King of Tustin in the mix.
Right. King of Tustin, just throw him out to Malaysia.
Okay.
Right.
And the King of Tustin in a mushroom and he's dead.
That's totally what happens.
Immediately. Yeah. Oh man.
man.
So many good possibilities there.
Yeah, definitely.
So, is this show worse than Real Housewives of New Jersey?
Nope.
Definitely not.
I don't know.
Not
I
at
feel
all.
like this show is actually making a run at, possibly, at the
Yeah.
top of the
It's
list.
up
I don't-
there, yeah.
I don't think it's the top.
I think it's towards
So-
the top.
It's definitely
It's certainly one of the better ones for sure.
it's definitely in my top quarter or so.
The thing with this show was it was interesting. It was kind of uncomfortable.
Mhm.
I don't know if it'd be like, oh man, you know what's on tonight? Naked and Afraid. I can't wait to like watch people almost die of leeches in their groins. Like,
I mean, it was definitely really interesting. Like, I definitely didn't say right after the episode, oh, I gotta see another episode of that. I mean, last week after 90 Day Fiance, I stood up and said, I need to watch the next episode of that right now. And I didn't really say that with the show, I guess.
Yeah, no, with this show, that's why my point earlier was it was really good to watch the comical version of the show after it to kind of like unwind from the stress of the show.
but like, what if you don't have a comical version
Yeah,
after
I
every
don't,
show?
I don't even know what you do. You just go insane.
I don't
Gotta
know.
watch
if-
some Bob's Burgers or something afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if if I would watch more. It seems like a very interesting idea, and it seems like they're really doing it.
Mhm.
But I think that the production is still like reality show. Like I feel like they can do better than reality show. Like let's shut these shots the right way so it looks like there's a commodore, like these lizards are coming to eat them, or this mushroom immediately kills him, or like
So-
stuff like that really bothers me.
I mean, there's kind of a balance though, because you still want the show to be entertaining, and like in the way in which you edit it makes it more entertaining. Right.
It sounds more
It
like you have a
just
problem
seems
with the
more,
editing
like,
than like the
cheesy.
concept of the show, though.
It seems more cheesy to me than like that. Like I just roll my eyes when I see stuff like that, and it does not make it more entertaining.
I
to
guess,
me.
yeah. I mean, for you, sure.
I'm sure there's some people that's like, oh my god, that's really real. Oh my god, are they gonna be okay?
That lizard's gonna
Like,
bite
that's-
his dick off. Yeah.
That's certainly not my reaction to things like that. And when it's really
Right.
obvious, like it was towards the end of this episode, like it definitely turns me off.
They were definitely playing that up way too much in that last little portion where they had to swim 3 miles down the river.
And I also felt that was real dangerous to be like swimming down the like a rainforest river like that, just because like I know when you're in South America, there's those like man-eating fish
Piranhas?
like in the like,
Yeah, I think that's
rivers.
in the Amazon
Yeah.
River. I don't think that's probably in this
No,
river.
I mean
Yeah.
they probably wouldn't have told them to swim up the river.
Right.
There are a bunch of piranhas
I-
in the river,
I-
but
I-
still.
So I'm not sure if this is in the Amazon River, but I heard about this like parasite that like if you like pee in like a river, some body of water, it swims like up like your pee stream and like wedges itself like in your like urethra
That was
and is like a real problem.
the most uncomfortable description I've ever heard about something.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a thing
Oh,
apparently that can happen.
Don't pee in the water.
So wait, what is this parasite? It just gets in you, and then what happens?
I'm not sure what happens, but like you know those little like you're from Florida, you probably know. There's like those little like spiky sort of balls that kind of come off of plants that are kind of seeds, and like it sticks to you, and then like it goes and like pollinates. I think it's like that, but a tiny version in your penis.
Oh God! Oh no! That is so much worse now.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's what I think it's like.
All right, James.
Oh my God.
Would you rather have that or the leech in your scrotum?
Oh, the leech for sure. Not
100
even
100%.
100% on the leech. Not even a question.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
God,
Would you rather have that or piranhas eating you?
I'm gonna need like a comic relief after this podcast recording. This is
So-
real stressful right now.
So piranhas or the parasite?
Oh God, not the parasite. I don't. There's no situation where I want that parasite at all. It's just
So
terrible.
pineapple enema or the parasite?
Oh God, why is this the game we're playing?
What's a pineapple enema? Is that just when you shove a pineapple up your butt?
Yeah,
Is
Was
that an
that-
enema?
yeah.
It's just putting a pineapple in your butt. At that
I don't
point,
think. I think it's just shoving a pineapple up your butt, which I feel like
I
you
tried to
stole-
say it in a nice way. Okay?
I'm pretty sure you stole that from like Little Nicky or something.
Yeah,
Oh, that was
Okay.
totally from Little Nicky.
Yeah,
of course.
Little Nicky, very average movie.
Yeah, it's like subpar, I guess.
It's been a
Is
very
Little
long
Nicky
time.
worse than Real Housewives of New Jersey?
I'm gonna say no, but it's I don't. It's
I-
not.
I
It's
like-
not a very good Adam Sandler movie.
It's not the worst of the Adam Sandler movies.
That
though.
was Adam Sandler mediocre movie.
Yeah.
Now it's more terrible Adam Sandler. So
So I feel like Little Nicky was kind of the start of like the decline of Adam Sandler. If you take out a couple of things like Funny People and Punch Drunk Love and some stuff like that, I feel like that's kind of part of the decline.
I think he did Big Daddy after that movie. So
Oh, he did? Really?
I believe so.
Oh, interesting.
So I think the Mr. Deeds is where I place his.
Yeah, Mr.
His
Deeds.
downfall.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right.
Do we want to see Adam Sandler naked and afraid?
No.
no.
Not really.
No, I feel like they picked like two good people to do the funny version of that show. Like Seth Rogen and James Franco are like definitely like two of the best people you can get for that.
Totally.
I mean, they already did a movie where they played themselves as friends, right? And
I
that
mean, I'm
goes
pretty
over
sure those
pretty
guys
well.
hang out. Like, if they don't, they've done a really good job at fooling me into thinking they're friends.
Yeah, they
I
only
mean, they
do.
obviously hang out.
Right.
They only like write movies together.
Yeah, that's just like their extent of their friendship. They only hang out when they're in a movie set.
Well, I think that like all the people in
Yeah.
This Is the End,
Like Jonah Hill
are
and everybody,
friends,
yeah.
and Jay, and like all those people. Like they're all friends. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we got IMDb update. Big Daddy was released in 1999. Little Nicky was released in 2000.
Booyakasha!
I think you're right then, because I don't really place any movie after that on the good side of Adam Sandler.
When was The Waterboy released?
The
Yeah,
Waterboy
it had to be
was
before that.
in 1998.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think that Click was pretty good.
Click was terrible.
You thought it was terrible?
Eh, I don't.
I wouldn't put it
how do-
terrible.
I'm not sure that I would say that it is good.
All right, it's on the not terrible side of Adam Sandler movies.
How do people in this room feel about anger management?
Awful.
I didn't actually see it, so I can't comment on that one.
No, it was no good.
I feel like I've seen it, but it was very
It's on the.
Unmemorable?
unmemorable.
I think it's
is
on-
that related to
trying
the
to
Charlie Sheen show?
I don't think
No,
so.
Okay.
no.
No.
It's on the terrible side.
It's
of
Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like I may have seen like part of it on TV or something.
So
I watched it a really long time ago and was like, that was all right, but
I don't.
remember.
Yeah,
I don't
like
remember
I
being
can't.
all right.
Yeah, like I remember the actors being in that movie, but I remember just about nothing else from that movie.
Okay, so after Big
The
Daddy,
only-
there's
yeah.
only. I thought Click was all right, and
You
I
got
thought
Funny
that
People.
Funny People was really good.
So I liked Funny People. I liked Punch Drunk Love, which I think is after that. It's just really different, but I like that. That's a legit good movie. I think.
When was 50 First Dates?
Punch Drunk Love
That
was
was
2002.
Yeah.
50 First Dates was 2004. Click is 2006.
Oh boy.
When was Funny People? That was like 2011, right? Something like that. Or no,
2009.
Ooh, 2009. All right. Oh yeah, we were still in college.
What's
in
that series of movies he's in where it's like
Grown-ups?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
We went to a movie at some
You
point. and we had
better
to
not
screen
tell me that you
trailers.
thought that was
No,
good.
I had to screen trailers, and it was just grown-ups. I had to watch like 5 different takes
Oh,
of
yeah, I
the
remember
grown-ups
that.
2
Oh, yeah.
trailers. It was awful. I'm like, how much longer is this going to take? I'm trying to go see this movie, and I'm like, this is terrible.
Like, dude, you know what your answer is? All these are bad.
Yeah.
Click. I'm out of here. Just like, don't even attempt. I'm not wasting my time.
So I was watching Jimmy Fallon like last week, and he had Chris Rock on. He was talking about his new movie Top 5, and which is apparently really good. But like, so Chris Rock was saying that he decided that he was going to write and make his own movie when he was on the set of Grown Ups 2 because he just felt like he didn't say this explicitly, but the tone of it was, like I felt so shitty about the state of my career when I was shooting Grown Ups 2 that I decided to write and make my own new movie.
Yeah, reasonable.
Yeah.
I can't believe they made a second one. I saw the first one
When you
because I
look
was
at
on
the-
a plane.
I mean, when you look at the sales figures, you know why they made a second
No,
one.
I know why they made a second one, but I
just-
can't believe
yeah.
people saw the second one. Like after they saw the first one.
Right.
That's what I can't believe. I can believe they made it, but I can't
Right.
believe other people went and saw it.
The thing is, you just put that many actors' name on like a movie poster, and people are like, "Oh yeah, it's it's the new Adam Sandler movie. I should probably go see
I don't-
that. He used to be good, right?"
Adam Sandler is not.
I just don't understand how Adam Sandler lost his magic. Like he used to be.
He had like 1 or 2. Like he really has one good character,
I mean, yeah.
right? So
I mean-
he can only play himself so many different ways.
But I mean, like you like listen to like even current comedians who are popular and good, and they have like this level of respect for Adam Sandler and like what he did, and like it is he has fallen off in such a crazy way that it's.
Well, do you think that's because he tried to do more serious, dramatic sort of movies, like with
don't
like an
think so.
actual thing?
No, like his
tried to make-
dramatic movies aren't bad.
I mean, he tried to make comedy like he tried to make more comedy. It's just bad. I don't.
He's trying to stay in like the tween like toilet humor kind of area.
Right.
So I mean, partially I think it's that we've grown out of it, but I just don't know. Like,
Right, you just find like fart jokes dumb after a certain point, right? You're like, okay.
Well, it's like I mean, he's kind of in with that whole like Judd Apatow sort of crew, and like, why doesn't he just have like Seth Rogen like write a movie for him, like just something?
Right.
I don't know, like.
wasn't there
It's a
was
bummer.
one that he was sort of featured in or something, right?
well, it's Funny People is a Judd Apatow movie.
Yeah,
right. Maybe
it
that's
was,
what I'm
yeah.
just thinking of.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only movie that they've done together.
Right, which was good.
Which
It's
was a
like,
good
why don't
movie.
you like do more shit? But he didn't write that, obviously, or like have any really inputs.
I'm
into
not
it,
sure who
guessing.
wrote Funny People.
I know it's a Judd Apatow movie, but
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
assuming that he wrote it.
Oh yeah, I think that Judd Apatow did write that one because like that was his follow up to Knocked Up, I think.
So I don't
Yeah.
remember. All right, I don't think we've gone a little off the wire at this
I
point.
don't know if we have.
So Adam Sandler on Naked and Afraid, though.
All right,
No.
so
It's still bad.
Next week, what do we watch? We're watching Ink Master, and I'll read the description. 18 top.
Sorry,
What happened there, James?
James, you're distracting me while I'm trying to read.
sorry.
18 top tattoo artists from across the country compete in extreme challenges, proving their skill and grit in an epic battle for $100,000 and the title of Ink Master. Rock legend Dave Navarro and tattoo icons Chris Nunez and Oliver Peck judge artists as they perform time challenges spanning an array of styles and techniques on willing and brave human canvases.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That shit's nuts. Would you ever go on that show as a human canvas?
No. Would not.
Possibly. Do I get
Really?
to choose a theme?
No, you don't. You just go and they're like, quick fire challenge. Somebody's gonna write a tattoo right now. 20 minutes, go.
Yeah,
And they're just tattooing
Yeah, probably
you.
not.
probably not.
I don't know. Chris was a little into it. Maybe
Well,
we can work
if
on
I
him.
could get like cool artwork, you know,
It might be
that
cool,
would be all. That would be,
but it might
alright.
be terrible.
But
you get the
I
guy that
think-
gets kicked off the show.
It's like, ooh, your lines aren't clean. I don't know, and it's just you have a garbage tattoo on your on your face.
It's
now.
possible.
You go on this show, and the judge is like, "This is the worst tattoos I've ever seen. Oh my god,
I can't believe anybody
you
would have
ruined this man." It's like, oh no.
That would be great. Like that's got to be part of it because like they're judging, and the person's there because they're looking at the tattoo. So like
Or
that
maybe
person's
it's
just hearing it.
photos. I don't know.
No, man, I'm pretty sure they're like judging the
Really?
tattoo, and the dude's just sitting there, just
This-
like, ooh.
Shit.
If anyone out there knows an episode where this happens, we have to watch that one.
Yeah,
Let us know.
That would be amazing.
you definitely want to see one that goes wrong. You're like, uh-oh.
So I was talking recently to someone who's in like tattoo school or like trained to be a tattoo artist kind of thing, and apparently it's like the culture of the thing is that it is tradition to give your first tattoo to yourself. So like the first tattoo you ever put on a person has to be on yourself, kind of. That's like the initiation into the tattoo artist thing.
That sounds fair.
It's pretty
Oh,
cool,
fuck.
right? It's pretty sweet.
I feel like I wouldn't want to give it well, I don't want a tattoo anyway, but I feel like I wouldn't give a tattoo to myself. I feel like there's a lot going on there that you want to
Because
distract.
you're kind of nervous and it's on yourself. And you're,
I feel like you need to get a tattoo from somebody else just so you know what to expect.
So the person I was talking to actually had never gotten a tattoo before.
So that was the first
but
one.
they were trained. So they hadn't done it to themselves yet. But they're trained to be a tattoo artist. So they're just like, I'm kind of nervous because my first one's going to have to be on me.
Yeah, because like there's like some pain level there that you like kind of need to be knowing what to expect. That you're like touching yourself. Oh, pain. Oh, crap. Oh,
Yeah,
and you
oops.
just, like oops, and you just like get just a random line somewhere.
Is there a spot on the body that's like your best like spot to go for your first tattoo on yourself? Or?
There are definitely spots that are less sensitive than others, I think.
But ones that you could like reach with like lower
Right.
back is one of them. But you're not
Like-
gonna be able to reach.
You just got to go right for the neck tattoo.
You're going
Right, just like use a mirror and just go for the neck.
you're going self tramp stamp.
Oh god.
That would be difficult.
self butt tattoo.
I'm guessing there's probably a lot of like hand tattoos. Is the first one.
I mean,
Maybe.
you probably start with something
Probably
small.
don't
Maybe
want to be
not.
tattooed.
If you do it on your hand
Maybe it's
though,
like-
you
It's
can
more
only do
sensitive,
it
right?
one-handed.
That's true.
Well, do you use two hands though? I don't really
Maybe
know how
use
the gun
one hand to
works.
kind of hold.
There's probably some leg
I don't
tattoos,
know.
I'd imagine, like kind of like calf level, like probably be
Yeah.
some of the easiest stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It just seems like it'd be
Um,
hard to get like the angles right to like square it up or like do whatever you're trying to do. Depends on I guess what
Or
you're
you could
trying
do
to.
like maybe some like upper leg stuff. That would be
You probably want to
Getting
have it in a
difficult.
place where, in case you fucked it up, it could be under clothes.
Yeah.
You know.
or maybe it's just amazing. You like want it somewhere where you could display it.
Yeah. You remember?
Then you go on Naked and Afraid, and everyone gets to see it.
I mean, that one woman had a tattoo on her butt.
She did.
It said Joy, I think. It said Joy. Yeah. That one woman on 90 Day Fiance had that like cross tattoo on her finger, like that ring sort of tattoo. I have you guys watched any more episodes of 90 Day Fiance after our episode?
I have not, but it looks like you're real excited about
Oh
it.
No.
boy. You guys need to watch more episodes of that show.
I'm planning to watch more. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
okay, so
All
I
right,
don't want to
what's
spoil
what's
it.
the quick like teaser?
Okay.
Harrison's about to be like, I don't want to spoil it. Here's the spoiler.
Here's what happened. Yeah, I mean, okay.
Well,
I
give us the tease. Give us some. Give us the. You know.
Okay, I will say one little teaser. The woman who came to visit the guy in Seattle, who was like upset because he didn't bring her all roses at the airport.
Go get my luggage.
Exactly.
Flower bitch.
She continues to be an insane person. So at some point, she brings up she has this like diamond engagement ring that the guy had given her, and at some point she accuses him of buying her a fake diamond and insists that they go to the jewelry store to ask the jeweler whether or not it is a real diamond.
Wow.
Like the same jewelry store he got it from.
I'm not sure if it's an independent jewelry store or the same one, but she's like, we're going to the jewelry store right now to verify whether or not this is real.
Because if you take it to the same jewelry store, they're obviously gonna be like, "Yeah, that's a real diamond."
right, for sure. So
So probably not.
yeah.
Whatever.
So they didn't actually make it to the story yet in the episode I saw, but it's happening, right?
That just
And that's
So-
an insane
sounds
thing.
terrible.
It
Wow.
does, yeah.
What a
Sounds
crazy
terrible.
person.
How does she feel about living in a lesbian's house? with
Not
this
great.
guy?
Turns out she doesn't feel that great about living in that house. Surprise,
Harrison,
surprise.
When you were in high school, did you enjoy the more drama you had, or did you like try to avoid the drama?
I in high school and in my life try to avoid drama.
Okay, is this
Yeah.
like you were at least like there's a lot of drama going on? Like,
I don't know. I think some of this stuff is kind of entertaining to watch because this kind of crazy shit doesn't really happen in my life, which I'm thankful for. So,
You mean you don't get mail order brides?
I usually don't get mail order brides,
Usually.
and they usually aren't angry at me about my flower choices.
Yeah, well, maybe we can arrange that.
When you do you try to get them to like cook and clean for you?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
Like, the game's on.
that's what a woman should do, right?
Well, there's two other couples that we haven't seen that are on the new one, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because there was one new couple that they introduced in this episode, but it looks like they're going to introduce another couple in the next one. So it's kind of because it seems like they keep on introducing them. At some point they're going to have to stop. But I think that they're filling them in because some of the couples are going to drop out early. I mean, if you just kind of pull the ripcord after 10, 15 days, then you need some more people to kind of fill in the gaps.
So do you think they're after the 15th day they went oh crap, we got to go get another couple, or they were they started out with some extra ones just in case, and they just chose the most entertaining ones?
I'm not sure because they don't necessarily have to do them all simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
They can shoot them whenever and edit it together however they want.
You can
right?
shoot one and be like, well, that was sort of boring. Nothing really happened. Let's
But
get a couple
but
more
this
people.
is season 2, so
Yeah, I'm not sure how they produced it.
you don't know? I
I
thought you knew about everything.
I don't know about everything. But yeah.
So yeah, you're hooked on that show now, basically.
I'm totally gonna watch more. So I found out that episodes 1 through 4 are all for free on YouTube, and then the rest of them are on demand, or maybe on the website or something on the TLC website. So that show is available, and I think people should at least watch the second one because it's pretty good.
If they haven't already.
If you could resist watching the second one after our episode about it.
It sounds like you just want more excitement in your life.
Really, I want more people to talk to about this insane show. Because right now I don't have anyone to talk to about.
Tweet at Harrison about this insane show.
Please do.
So where can they tweet at you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Harrison Hoffman.
And he wants to hear all about 90 Day Fiancé.
Yes.
But no
Direct-
spoilers, only episodes
DM.
he's seen.
Direct all tweets about episodes 1 and 2 of 90 Day Fiancé to me. And by the time
I'm
this
sure-
episode is
I'm
out,
sure
maybe
you've watched
3
more.
or 4. I don't know.
Yeah. Rob, you got any plugs over there?
I'm on Twitter at RobKids.
James?
Twitter at KaneJ3.
Follow me on Twitter at the Chris Lorenz. You can follow us on Twitter at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/whoputthison. And you can email us questions and comments at whoputthison@gmail.com. Happy holidays.
Bye.
Night is stormy. You can feel the fear of the lonely few. A stranger calling, just a bit of